Next up, Savage Dragon number 143. Is it Smasher? Is she back? We don't know. If you love Savage Dragon, this is a hell of a lot of good fun. It's coming out regularly now. He's gotten all sorts of press because he's featured Obama in the book, and he's not trying to pander to politics in general anymore. Eric Larson's actually finally giving us his opinion on stuff. Of course, at this point in time in the Savage Dragon universe, most of the world hates Savage Dragon. It seems that they're blaming everything on him. And there's a lot of this resurgence of these old public domain characters that they're using in superpowers in this book. A lot of fun. And especially if you've been missing Savage Dragon, it's coming out regularly now. Well worth your damn time. And I'm sure a lot of that has to do with this very fact that Eric Larson is no longer the publisher at Image Comics. Next up, we got an unbelievably good book written by my pal, Shane McCarthy. Man, all hail Megatron. Fuck around, is this book goddamn good. I will smack anybody right in the mouth that says they don't like it, unless they're in this room right now. Because I'm scared to you guys, especially Stephanie there reading The Walking Dead. This is going on a little bit more about the Autobots. It's getting us into touch with what's going on with them. Cup sort of explaining the situation of things. He's been having a lot of conflict with Prowl, because Prowl's a sort of they've really gotten into Prowl being this espionage character. Really cool the way they're handling it. And there's a great line in here about a certain character. I won't say his name, but there's a moment here where they go, "When did fill in the blank become scary?" And it's a great moment, an absolutely great moment. So worth your while. If you have any fondness for the Transformers ever, the best Transformers comic that's ever been written. And if you looked at all the past Transformers comics and you said to yourself, those are garbage, don't let your brain think that about this. Pick it up. It's unbelievably good. Well worth your time. Next up, we got Wildcats and the Authority. This is part of this whole current thing in the Wildstorm universe where shit's gun, the hell in a handbasket. Wildcats, yeah, just a bit hit and miss here and there. This issue was okay. I thought it was half decent. I preferred the last issue where it went into Spartan's history. But this issue was just kind of, it was decent. They're kind of dealing with these creeps and the Damonites, and things in the Wildstorm universe are sort of dragging out a bit now. It's a post-apocalyptic world, we know. They're dealing with post-apocalyptic things. Everybody's getting killed left, right, and center. This book starts off in the first page with this couple. They're taking their baby down to a tar pit because if they're gonna die, they want to die on their terms. It's interesting, but I think they need to change the pace up a little bit. Over here in the Authority, this is a crossover with Stormwatch. This is actually, I think, the best issue of Authority they put out so far. They're sort of stepping things up a little bit. I'm not still thrilled with the Authority, but I was glad to see them dealing with Stormwatch in this book because they have the same roots. Authority evolved out of Stormwatch to watch the Stormwatch characters have conversations with the Authority, sort of dealing with their similarities and their root origin was quite intriguing. And so, if you like Stormwatch and you like the basic premise of Authority, this book was actually pretty good. Next up, we got the Defying Devil #1. This character, by the way, is the original Daredevil from way back, I think, in 1940. A really cool character. And I love the way that John Cassidy actually draws his spikes so it looks like they aren't so lethal that he couldn't put his arms to his side at all. They look a little bit bigger and clumsier. The only weird thing I find about the Defying Devil is this weird spike belt. It's like, if I walk, I rip my arms to pieces. If you hug me, you're dead. But a decent read. I enjoyed this book overall. Now I will admit, as far as the Superpowers line of books go, this particular issue has my least favorite art so far. He's a decent artist, but there's something about his style that doesn't lend itself so well to not being inked. You can see in the details there, it seems a little sketchy. I mean, like, let's take a look. If you can get close to that right there, you can even see some of these lines sort of hanging out that should have been erased and whatnot. So it's a decent read. I like this, and the art's good, but the rest of the stuff in Superpowers has been fantastic. So this one, a little bit of a notch down, but just a teeny bit.
And he's got a great name.
The Defying Devil?
Yeah, I mean, it's no Captain Satan, but it's good.
Next up, we got No Hero, a serialized graphic novel. This is issue 3, the rap version. This book is twisted and awesome. This is all like it says at the top here. How much do you want to be a superhuman? This is about this alternate reality where this is a guy who's come up with some sort of funky formula that turns people into superheroes. Inevitably, the result is that I think their life expectancy is shrunken considerably, and they're also giant targets. This one's all about this particular character who's done everything he can to be noticed by this dude who's developed the superhuman formula, and he's been injected with the formula, And the big part, as you find out in this issue, actually you sort of find out in the last issue, the big part of the transformation process involves tripping the shit out of this guy's brain. And if you take a look at this page, this is like macabre at its best. You got crocodiles eating baby heads and kitty entrails and stuff blowing out of guts and walls full of tentacles and eyes, and it's just messed up. And guess what? That lasts for a whole bunch of pages. Totally demented. Really remarkable. I enjoyed the hell out of this. And the interesting thing about this is actually this description here of a serialized graphic novel. It's unique to hear somebody say this. What that means, essentially, that this is being written for the graphic novel format, but it's been serialized. So it's nice to see someone actually acknowledging that this is this sort of a not made necessarily for this format of the magazine, even though it does suit this magazine format well. One of my biggest complaints about Warren Ellis is that classically when you read a Warren Ellis book, you don't know if you've come to the ending of it. His conclusions are weird. But in this, because it is a serialized graphic novel, that's A-OK, and they tell you right on the cover, don't expect a wrapped up little ending. This is made for that design, or for that format. Next up we got Kick-Ass, number 5. This book is so cool. A lot of fun. The basic concept is it's this guy who puts on his costume. It's a regular world just like ours, and he goes and he fights some crime, and somebody catches it on YouTube. And whereas he mostly gets his head caved in and he's hospitalized afterwards, it starts this whole thing going on. And this issue covers, right from the first page, one of these guys who's sort of emulated Kick-Ass. And man, this is a great, great book written by Mark Millar, of course, Civil War fame, and writing Old Man Logan right now. Art by John Romita Jr., absolutely fantastic. Well worth the time. Kick-Ass is indeed kick-ass. And there we go. We're done. Thanks for watching Balls and Vagina and stuff.
Balls and vaginas, yay!